advertising was something you struggled with, or like what that process was like?
We, after Sundance, Relativity Media bought the film. Great. And their whole thing was like, we like it just the way it is. You know, we'll clean it up, we'll get some music, tighten it up, but we're going to leave it the way it is. And then they had made a deal with Universal that Universal would be the company that sort of promotes and distributes the film. And so Universal came to us with an ad campaign presentation, and it was this, basically. It was like, you know, the CATFISH logo with a fish, which we didn't get. And also it was kind of like bloody and weird. And also they were saying that we're going to call it a reality thriller, and here's the trailer, and it like leaves you on the edge, like feeling like it's some sort of paranormal or Blair Witch thing. And we all really looked at each other, and I mean, I was like ready to sort of like throw the table over. Are you kidding? This is not what this movie's about. Your people are going to be pissed. And then they were like, well, guys, you got to remember, first of all, there's nobody in this movie that anyone's ever heard of before. There's no stars. Most of the time, people don't buy tickets to documentaries. For them, like, it's not a genre that sells tickets.
The D word?
The D word. And they were like,
so you guys are all measuring in the D word?
Yeah, right. And they were like, this is going to get people into the seats, and that's their job. You know, they're distributing film and trying to sell tickets. What ended up happening was that they put this out there. The whole big secret thing, it was a buzz movie, but no one really knew what it was about. And it looks like this sort of scary horror thing. And I think we quickly realized that even though it's not how we would have marketed it, the sort of misdirect, the fact that people were expecting something and then completely vulnerable to the actual experience, in some ways actually prepared them in the best way, being as sort of unprepared as possible. And almost everybody has said, you know, I really thought it was going to be something like this, and it was more like this. And I'm really happy because I've seen so many of those stupid movies, and I've never seen anything like this, and I'm so much happier to have seen this. I have had a couple Facebook posts that are just like, this movie sucked, I thought it was going to be scary, you know, I took my girl on a date, and like, she was crying, you know. But for the most part, the response has been positive, even though it was sort of a misdirect. And like, you know, I have a lot of friends, we have a couple friends who've made great films in the past couple of years that have been released at IFC and things like that. And the trailers are beautiful and like heartwarming and charming. And I don't use this as like in any way to brag or boast, but like they sold tickets to our film and they promoted it and they spent a lot of money and they had to in some ways guarantee that people would go. And they did. And even though it's not one of the all-time highest grossing films ever, of course, it still made considerably more than I think it would have if they'd been like, it's a sort of sweet educational documentary about feelings and like, how many people are going to go see that? Unfortunately.